Hello everyone, this is SB Frequency Events. My name is Adedunke Gomina, and today we're going to be showing you how to route on the Behringer wing mixer. Like we promised, we're going to be bringing you a series of videos on how to use the Behringer wing mixer, and we're going to make sure that either you're a basic user or you haven't used digital mixers at all, or you're a pro user of digital mixers. This video is for you. So now, before I go into this, I need to explain something. So for some of us that are used to analog mixers, yes, and you would see that on analog mixers, your input one is your channel one. So meaning that whatever you plug to the XLR ports behind your mixer, on one works on channel one, two works on two, etc. But on the digital mixers, it's been done such that I can make port 1 work on channel 4, right? I can make XLR port 2 work on channel 10, right? Depending on how I route it. And for the Behringer wing mixer, if I don't do my routing, nothing comes on the channels. The channels come empty. So you have to determine what ports you want to work on your channels. Now, those physical ports that we know, the XLR ports, the TRS ports, some of you call that the jack ports, right? Here, jack ports are called the aux-ins, right? So whichever port it is that you're using, Behringer wing calls them sources. Yes, so we're going to be starting from sources. Now, sources have to do with where we're plugging our cables to, the source where the signal is coming from. So on the Behringer wing, we have different kinds of sources. I can pick my source from the local physical ports behind the mixer. I can also pick my signals from a stage box. I can pick it from a multi-track software like the DAW softwares. Here I'm using Pro Tools to play back here for the illustrations we have to make today. So I can as well pick up sound from any other ports like my USB stick here. I can put in a flash drive here and receive audio into my mixer. Now, all those places that we're receiving signals from are referred to as sources. Now, then we have the channels. Channels refers to the input channels like these faders I have over here. Then the outputs, which are my bus outs, my master, my main 1 to 4, my matrix, etc. Right? So I'm going to be starting with how to route my sources, right? So to get to sources, what I need to do is to go to the routing here. Then I come to sources. So as you can see over here, I can now select what source I want my signals to come from. So the essence of this port here, which is the sources, is I can name each of the sources that I select. I can give them a color, I can give them an icon, and I can program them. I can make them mono, I can make them stereo. Whatever I want those sources to act as, I can do that over here. Now, the beauty of using sources and, naming them in situations where I have two different mixers, one on stage, one at the front of house, or even three, and I just have one stage box. So I can name all my channels on that stage box. And over here, on all the three mixers, I don't have to do any more labeling. All I need to do is just route those sources to my mixer, and the names and the customization of that channel will come through to whichever channel I select on all the three mixers that I'm using. So this makes our setup work faster, and it aids easier configurations of our mixer. So under the source groups, I have different sources here. I have the local in. This local in refers to the XLR ports we have behind this mixer. Behringer wing, yes, this wing comes with 8 channels of input XLRs. And also, I have the aux-in, so we also have 8 TRS connectors behind this mixer, which is the aux-in. Now, back to the local in, you can see here, local in are always called the LCL1, LCL2. So they're referring to the local port behind your mixer. Then we also have the AES EBU, which is another source. We have the oscillator, which is the white noise that some of you are used to. When you go for people's setups, you hear that pink noise shh sound, right? So that's the oscillator. I can route that. I can also route my AES 58. Now, if I'm connecting to a stage box, right, and I'm using my AES 50A, then I will route through my AES 50A. If I'm using the B ports, then I will use AES 50B, and the C, I will use AES 50C. So whichever AES 50 port I'm using, that is where I'm going to route from. And also it's for instances where you have more than one stage box that you want to route to, or each of the stage boxes are linked, but it finally comes in here through your AES 50A. Then you're going to use your AES 50A port for your routing. Also, we have the AES 50B, we have the AES 50C, we have the ST Connect, we also have the USB audio. Like I said, if you have a multi-track coming in, as you can see, you can rename each one of the sources, you can give them an icon or color. In the video where we talked about naming sources, channels, and all that, you would see that there and learn how to do that. Also, I can use the W Live Play. Also, I can use my Dante. I have a Dante card, an internal Dante card on this board. Also, I can route from my USB player, which is if I have a flash drive or USB stick, I can put that here and I can, rename it or route it to any channel I want. So the next thing that we're going to be looking at are the channels, right? So there are two ways of routing channels. The first way is we can route through the channel itself, and we can also go to the routing page to route our channels. So to do that, I'm going to come to select, and I would select the channel that I want to work with. And I come over here. Once I click on this, it pops out the source group that I'm meant to route to. Now I can now select where I want to pick from. So for illustration, I'm going to be using this microphone. It's connected to the local input one of this mixer. So I'm going to go to local in, and as you can see here, I'm going to click on that. And once I do that, you can see that the channel customization comes automatically to the channel. Just in case that doesn't go through, right? All you need to do is to drag this and move it over here, and that comes to the channel. And as you can see, my channel works. I'm sure you can hear the sound. So that is how to route your channel, right? One after the other. Now, doing that is actually very slow. It's going to take a lot of time to do that for 48 channels. Yeah. So for you to be able to do that quickly, we're going to use the second method. And the second method is by going over here to the routing tab here. And as you can see here, once you come here, you are going to select channels. Yeah, so once you select channels, then you would be able to route from that channel to the source group from where it's coming from. And as you can see, this is already routed from my first illustration. Now I'm going to unroute that so that I can route it to my USB audio that I have here on my Pro Tools software. So to do that next, if you notice here, as I select this, nothing changes. That's because this screen is locked. Yeah, so there's a padlock sign here. So that's the Behringer wing mixer trying to protect you from just routing without being sure. So for you to unlock that, you just come over here and you unlock it. And now if you see this, it works. Now say it has changed, right? So also you can also select none if you don't want any routing to be done. Now, if you notice, as I select this, it pops out a mono stereo mid-side. So I can decide if I want the channel to be mono or stereo, even from this routing page. So now I'm going to route to my USB audio. So I come here and I select USB audio, right? So once I click on this here, you can see that that changes. Now, to do this one after the other is going to take a lot of time also. So there's a function over here, which is the +1 auto. It means that once I activate this, it takes me automatically to the next channel. So I don't have to be going here one after the other. So let's watch as I do that. So I have this here. So as I come here, I select and it goes to the next one. So like that, I can quickly route all my channels, right? And I can have my audio come out the way I want it to be, right? So that is how to route our channels. And let me just play back so that we see what we've done. You got the praise. You got the praise. Take all of the honor. You take the honor. We want to say thank you. One more time. Yeah. Yes, so that is how to route my channels to my sources. And for example, if I have a stage box, right, I would come to AES50A and I will route them one after the other to whichever channel I want it to work. Now, the next one I'm going to be showing you is how to route the outputs, right? So to route the outputs, what I need to do is I need to come here and I select that. Now, once I do that, I now need to determine where it's going from. So for my buses over here, I can select whichever bus. Now, remember, this lock thing also works for routing this too. So, and the +1 auto also works for that too. So right here, I can see that my local out is routed to my master left. So that means that my master is going to be going out through my local 7, which I connected to. And from 7, that goes to my processors and my amplifier to the speaker that we can hear from, right? And also I have over here, I have my subwoofer here, and this is routed to my bus, if you see sub 8, which is over here, right, which is on this line, right? So to route for my outputs, I just need to determine where I want this to come from. And also I can route my aux out, which is over here, right, which are the ports behind here, the TRS ports that are over here. I can also route my AES50A, that's my stage box, and also my USB audio. I can route that also if I'm doing multi-tracking. Yeah, we have a video on multi-tracking on our YouTube page, so you can go and watch that. So, and so on and so forth. Dante and the recorder also, if I need to record my audio, right? So I can also route that and determine where that is coming from. Yeah. So right now, let me illustrate the routing right now. So when I come to master here and I click on this, you can see that this is receiving from my master left and right. So once I play right now, you will see that there's signal. So I can unselect that and we will see that I will no longer have signal, right? It's just my subs that are working because this is no longer routed to my master left and right, which is my main one, right, which is over here. I am named that the master left and right. So once I route this back, I have this over here and I route it back. So we can hear that that works. So that is how to route the outputs on this mixer. So that brings us to the end of this video on routing on the Behringer wing mixer. If you have any further questions, please put that in the comment section. Like we said, we're going to be bringing you a series of videos. Also, you can come for any of our training courses. We have several training courses. Our contact details are everywhere. So just reach out to us and we'll get back to you. So till when next we come your way, this is SB Frequency Events. Bye.